welcome to the Prophecy Club. I'm going to be talking about an overview of what we are probably going to see in 2019. Now, parts of this is my opinion. I mean, I am human. I have the right to have an opinion, my guesses, just like you do. So I'm going to try to delineate the difference between when I'm guessing versus a thus saith the Lord, because I still don't want you to misquote me. So I'm going to tell you right up front, do not quote me as saying any of the 2019 things that I'm about to say are thus saith the Lord. They're not. They're my guesses. They're my guesses, probably right, but they are my guesses. In other words, God did not tell me. I didn't have a dream, a vision, audible voice, or anything like that against this. Okay, so let's get started. So here are my guesses as to what I think we will see in 2019. I think January, February is going to be, and let me just say, I'm not trying to put this in 30-day increments. I'm talking more about seasons, all right? So if it happens a couple of days into the next month or it misses by a couple of days, that's fine, okay? And I'm not trying to get you to get out a pencil and piece of paper and write down everything I say just so you can email me if I miss one. This should be done in the spirit of trying to understand the future, what's coming, not in the spirit of, okay, let's see if we can catch Stan missing on something, all right? The heart of a watchman is one that tries to warn when he sees a sword coming, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to warn. I see several big things, big problems coming, and I'm going to say coming in 2019 or early 2020, sometime in the next 12 to 18 months. Again, I'm talking seasons, not exact months or dates, okay? I think that January, February is going to be the season of a financial change, a season of a financial change. For example, 1929 was a financial change. Yes, everybody hears people talk about the 1929 stock market crash. And for a lot of people, most people, in fact, it was a real disaster. What happened was the evil elite were calling loans, they were causing problems, and the reason was they were trying to gather the wealth of the just into the pockets of the evil. Let me say it again, because that's about to happen in reverse. They were gathering the wealth of the just into the pockets of the evil. Well, I believe what is about to happen in the January, February season, the next season, and if it doesn't even happen in January, February, I understand that it's a season. The next season is going to be a financial change, which is going to be exactly the opposite. I believe it will be the Proverbs 13:22 reverse. The wealth of the wicked is going to be laid up for the just. That does not happen in the millennium. It has not happened in the past, and I believe that you're about to see a lot of the wealth of the wicked redistributed into the hands of the righteous. Again, I think that's going to happen. That's the next season. So expect, yes, some people that are now not having very much money are going to get some. Some people have a whole lot of money, your wealthy elite and global bankers and things like that, are about to get in a real financial bind. The next thing I think you'll see is probably in the March season, sealed indictments. Now I understand they're up to over 70,000 sealed indictments, and arrests are probably going to take place, followed by riots, blood, and bullets. I think it is, some people are saying it's a civil war. It's going to be more than a civil war. It's going to be the internal revolution. You remember Dmitri Duduman was told the fall of America would start with an internal revolution, started by the communists. Now remember, listen to these words carefully. We're going to be talking about these. Started by the communists. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the oceans, Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua, Central America, Mexico, and two other countries will attack and defeat America in one day. Now, as these March sealed indictments, these arrests take place, understand the devil is not going to go down without kicking and screaming. We are going to see riots and blood and bullets like no one alive has ever seen as bad as it's about to get in America. And this is probably only going to be the start, and it'll get worse. But then, as I told you, August the 8th of 2015, the audible voice of God said, this is the time of miracles. Then he downloaded to my heart, as the judgment hits, so will my miracles. And he downloaded to me that these are greater miracles than we'd ever seen. Then, of course, Pastor Massey comes along and tells me, no, they're not double portion miracles. They're sevenfold miracles. Now I have that in the mouth of 3 witnesses. That is not double portioned. It's sevenfold miracles. Jeremiah 16:19 through 21 says, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And they have made unto themselves gods that are not gods. Therefore, this once I will cause them to know. I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Jehovah. Meaning, this great and amazing miracle, sevenfold miracles, the great awakening of the church is about to take place, and I believe it will start in 2019, the early part of 2019, specifically in the month of April, specifically the feast days of April 19, 20, 21, and 22. Passover, unleavened bread, and first fruits, which is why we're having our meeting on those dates. So April is going to be miracles. I believe, looking back, history will record 2019 as the year that America began to fall. Say it again. History will record 2019 as the year that America will begin to fall. I believe that in the year 2019, Trump will announce his Israeli peace plan, splitting Jerusalem to the public. Why do I say that? Well, I'm going to put all this together in a video, but I haven't got it all together right now, so I'm just doing this off the top of my head. But Trump, according to this particular article, contacted Netanyahu, which is in now a fight for the death, in his re-election attempt to be prime minister. Trump has reportedly urged him to go ahead and to release their peace plan as part of his election release, or why you should elect him, so to speak. Well, probably, now no one knows for certain, but probably that peace plan is going to be splitting Jerusalem. And if that happens, brothers and sisters, that is going to be America, specifically Trump, splitting Jerusalem. And if America splits Jerusalem, I have in the mouth of about 12 people now, 9 on the video, 12 people that say that America will split Israel and God will split America. Then, of course, the headlines to the fall of America given to Prophet Leslie Johnson, January 22 of 06. And this is the order I think that they will be fulfilled in. Omer ushers in Palestinian state. That probably will be a newspaper headline in the year 2019. I said probably. I didn't say thus saith the Lord. I know thus saith the Lord is going to be a headline. I do not know that it'll start 2019, but that's my guess, okay? I should be entitled to my own guesses. That's what I'm doing. This is my guesses. Throw it out the window if you want to. I believe you'll probably see that headline, Omer ushers in Palestinian state in 2019. Just a guess. If that happens, then following up very quickly, possibly even within 24 hours, a catastrophe will hit America. And that catastrophe will probably be America being split down the north to the south, like opening up curtains from the top to the bottom. And then, of course, the headline will be put out, one of America's greatest times of need. Number 4 is Israel refuses help to America. As a result, the Arabs and the Russians seize their opportunity, and the Russians and many of the nations, specifically the Arabs, will attack Israel. The headline is, Israel is attacked. America sends troops. My guess is that probably won't happen in 2019. And understand all of what I'm saying, we are praying that this is all delayed. We know that we got one delay from 2015 to 2018. We also know we've been given another delay, and we don't know but what maybe the things I'm talking about are all going to be delayed. Let's put it this way, the bad things will probably, may possibly be delayed. So if what I'm saying doesn't come to pass as quickly as I'm saying, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We are not looking for bad. It's going to come. We don't have to look for it. We don't have to pray for it. We don't have to hope for it. We need to pray for the good things to come. Okay, so anyway, Israel refuses help to America as the New Madrid fault basically falls in the center. And then Israel is attacked and America sends troops. Next headline, chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. And you're probably going to see CNN, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, all those guys are saying, how come we're helping Israel? We shouldn't be sending any troops to help them. They didn't help us when the catastrophe hit us, when the earthquake hit us. Then she heard my voice quoting Dmitri, the fall of America will start with an internal revolution. Now, let me go on and point out a couple of things in what was said. An internal revolution started by the communists. In my opinion, the communists are the Democrats, people like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and their buddies and their cronies, because these are the guys right now that are really starting the internal revolution. I believe that the internal revolution started in its infancy with the election of Donald Trump. It grew more in intensity with the blood in the streets in Charlottesville, Virginia, when a man drove into the crowd. He drew first blood. It continued and grew more in anger over the nomination of Judge Kavanaugh. But now it is, you might say, at a new level, officially at a new level, when the Trump Democrat shutdown is in line with we want our entitlements. You recall, I've said many times, Shane Warren was told and shown in a vision, people rioting in the streets, holding up signs, we want our entitlements, we want our entitlements. Well, what's an entitlement? It is free checks. It's free stuff from the government, to say it succinctly. It's free stuff. Well, as of February the 1, that free stuff will begin coming to a cutoff unless there is some kind of a government funding. If they don't fund the government before the 1st of February, then we will begin to see people stop their welfare, stop their SNAP, stop their food stamps, and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of people don't want to go to work. And so they're going to, look, they've been eating off the cash cow all of their life. They don't know what it is to go and get a job. They don't want a job. They want a free check. They want a free ride. And so when the entitlements get cut off, they'll be out in the streets protesting, we want our entitlements. By the way, what Shane also saw just prior to that is a storm, a financial storm, as I started the broadcast saying, a financial storm is coming in which the dollar will become worthless. And I've got, as I think about that, at least two, probably three voices saying the same thing on that. Now, I also think it's interesting that we are now at least doing a slow rather than a fast pullout of Syria and our troops there. But that is in line because with prophecy, because the prophecy said Israel has attacked America, sends troops. If America already had troops in Syria at the point this happened, would the headline not read, America activates troops, or America begins the attack? But it says America sends troops, inferring that at the time that Israel is attacked, we don't have troops in the Middle East. Well, here we are, brothers and sisters, at the door at the beginning of them being pulled out, though it's changed from being a fast pullout to a slow pullout. But nevertheless, we are in the process of pulling them out. Now, I know Trump thinks that's a good idea, but based upon that prophecy right there, maybe it's not such a good idea. Also, as you go into Daniel chapter 7, and you look at the lion and then the eagle and then the bear, and specifically I want to talk about the leopard is a caliphate. It's a four-nation confederacy. Each nation has a leader, and those nations are all going to be Muslim. I'm just kind of consolidating it here. They're all going to be Muslims, and they'll form a caliphate. That caliphate has not formed yet. However, the Erdogan, the president of Turkey, is rapidly pushing that they do exactly that. You see, I'm seeing a whole lot of rivers all coming together to make a giant flood. I'm seeing a lot of things in prophecy beginning to come to pass. Then, of course, we come to the Maurice Sklar courtroom vision. That is also in line with 2015. In 2015, there was a 3-year delay given. So since it openly says there was a 3-year delay given, and now there's been granted another delay, my guess is that it's 3 years, but it specifically said, but the birth pains shall continue, meaning that 3-year delay was not given to America. It was given to the world. And the delay was not whether America was going to fall. The delay was whether the 7-year tribulation would start in 2015. No, it was given a 3-year delay. 3 years later, it's 2018, meaning that the tribulation really was supposed to start in 2018, but the delay was granted. If that delay had not been granted, brothers and sisters, we may very well have seen the first horse begin to ride, the white horse. In other words, the 7-year countdown to the return of Jesus. But it's been given a delay. Now, Maurice did not tell us how long the delay is, and I do not know. Rest assured, when I get Maurice alone, I'm going to ask him, but he probably won't be allowed to tell me. But my guess is that it's another 3 years. Why? Because the last one was a 3-year delay, so it's reasonable to assume, please listen to me, I'm not setting dates here. Please listen to my words. Do not misquote me. I'm not saying that America is going to fall in 3 years. However, if we're not granted another 3-year stay, assuming it's 3 years, then that means that the tribulation would start in 3 years. Okay, so here we are in 2019. That's 2020. That's 1 year. 2021 is 2 years. 2022 is the 3 year. That means the tribulation could very well start in 2022. Well, do we have a confirming voice that says the tribulation starts in 2022? Well, why don't you go listen to Terry Bennett, because that's exactly what he was told back in 2010. I'm only saying, brothers and sisters, this is not a joke. We are in the last days. This is not a joke. America is falling. America is the mystery Babylon. And hopefully soon, America and the masses will begin to listen to this message instead of thinking we prophecy students are a bunch of crazy, wacko, weirdo misfits. Truth is, they're the ones that's missing the train. We're on board. We know what's going on. They're the ones that are missing the train because they don't want to. Anyway, let's go on. Let me also point out a couple of things since we're talking about the courtroom vision given to Maurice Sklar, which I spent 3 days on. If you haven't listened to that, you got to go listen to those broadcasts. And I'm going to say just reading the courtroom vision, which is downloadable at prophecyclub.com, and also I think it's scalarministries.com. Anyway, just reading it, I don't think you'll see what I'm showing you in those broadcasts. I didn't see it first time I read through it. It's like it kept bubbling up out of my spirit. It's like God kept showing me more and more and more things about what was actually said in that. Just because you understand a word doesn't mean you really understand that word. Just because you understand that phrase doesn't mean you really understand that phrase as it relates to spiritual things, as it relates to the Bible, and as it relates to the overall. So again, I'm saying go listen to the last 3 broadcasts. Anyway, let's go on. A couple of things I also want to point out about the Sklar courtroom vision. It confirmed the tribulation is 7 years, as I have been teaching. Some people think it's 3 years or 3.5 years. No. 7 years, okay? Daniel 7 says the beast arises after the 10 horns of the world government are formed, which means that first we see a world government, and we do not. I know a lot of people think, oh, yeah, well, you can spot the Antichrist before the world government. No. Daniel 7, maybe I should take a few minutes and in a future broadcast explain that to you, but no. There's a world government having 10 horns. In other words, they divide the 7 continents into 10 global regions. Each global region has a global regional ruler called a horn. A horn in Bible prophecy is a ruler. And in the eyes of the man, in the eyes of this man, and in this horn were the eyes of a man, meaning these are rulers. And I'm now speaking great things, which confirms to Revelation 13. Probably ought to cover that sometime. I wish you guys like Bible prophecy more. I can tell you right now that the coming topic that all people, nations, and languages one day will want to know about, that's what God told me. Bible prophecy is going to be the number one topic on the globe. All people, nations, and languages one of these days. One of these days, everybody's going to want to know about Bible prophecy, and guess who's going to be there informed and prepared to explain it with a book out on it. All right, anyway, so, yes, I believe that also the courtroom vision confirmed that the beast arises to power for a total of 3.5 years, or times and the dividing of time, or 42 months, however you want to calculate it out, or 1,260 days. It also confirms that 6,000 years are up. In other words, it's saying that's the whole point of this Sklar vision, is to show that the 6,000 years, we reached it. And that was Lucifer in this courtroom saying, hey, I want my 7 years. I mean, here I've been patient. I waited 6,000 years for this. This was promised to me. I want my 6,000 years. But Jesus stood up and explained, no, this is why we need to have a delay in it. So there is a delay. Question is, how long is that delay going to continue? Might not be too much longer. I wonder sometimes if the fall of America has to happen prior to the 7-year tribulation. I've always thought that, But what happens if all of a sudden America is trodden along and all of a sudden we hear by some prophet and then there's another prophet that pops up and says, hey, the white horse is ridden. Hey, the first seal has been opened. What happens? Well, that may very well happen. There's nothing that says absolutely positively that America has to fall before the world government arises. Matter of fact, in Terry Bennett's prophetic word, there's some of the phrases he says there that hints that it might not happen that way. Okay, so I think that there's about to be a major change in finances. 1929, there was a major change. Yes, we've heard the sad stories about some people who lost everything, but then what you didn't hear is that there was some people that made millions and billions of dollars because in those days, it was a consolidation of wealth from the good guys to the bad guys. Only this next wealth change is about to be a consolidation of wealth away from the big evil guys into the hands of the Christians. That's what Proverbs 13:22 says. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. Also notice that from 2019 all the way back to 1929 is 90 years. And 90 years later, there's all of a sudden about to be what the prophets seem to be indicating is an even greater financial change. And by the way, none of this comes from me. I'm quoting Shane Warren, I'm quoting Hal Turner and Terry Bennett and these other people. So none of this financial stuff comes from me. So Shane Warren's vision showed him where he saw blowing dollars, worthless as leaves, and he heard, we want our entitlements. You see, the Trump and the Dems are actually in a war over the southern border wall, but it's really a war good over evil. And the line has been drawn on the border wall. Hal Turner says that if the shutdown continues past February 1, the checks from the government will be cut off. Now, let me read a newspaper article for you. Headline: Trump warns shutdown could last years. Says he may declare a national emergency to build a border wall. Well, I put out several videos saying that there are 70,000 sealed indictments out there that's going to be all served. And they're probably going to be served in a very short period of time, possibly even as short as 24 to 48 hours, maybe just 2 or 3 days. And I have said that the thing that is going to start it is a national emergency. So those of you that have known I've been saying that now for, well, I guess over almost a year, almost exactly a year. You probably heard that and you thought, wow, national emergencies. Trump has actually come out on national TV and mentioned national emergency. Of course, he was saying that if they don't give him the border wall, he's liable to declare a national emergency. Well, I've been saying he's going to declare a national emergency now for almost a year. And it was January 28th, 2018 that I said that first in a radio program called Our 44,000 Marines About to Arrest 10,000 U.S. Leaders. That's the name of it. You can go check it out. Check it out on YouTube. Check it out on our website. It's there. And by the way, I had never heard of Q at that time. I've got a couple of emails this morning saying somebody's complaining about Q. Well, I didn't get it from Q. I got it from prophets of God and holy servants of God that heard from God. And this whole thing, this is all backed up by word. Look, I do not go searching the internet, surfing the internet, trying to find out what other people are saying. Either God speaks to me or God's people sends me information that is confirming what I've already been saying. Let me say it again. I do not go searching the internet for stuff. Now, there's a time here or there I'll search for a little bit of something that confirms something else. See, most of the people that are talking out there on the internet are talking from things they got from other things on the internet. So it's just, it's kind of inbreeding. In other words, well, I heard this on the internet, so I'm saying it. Well, I may be the only one out there that's saying, well, no, I got this from holy servants of God or prophets, because I have over 200 pages of various prophecies that I've collected over the last, 35 years, 40 years, for a lot of different people. And so I have in this document, I can go and search earthquake, and it'll find all of the prophecies related to earthquake. I make a broadcast on earthquakes. That's the way I work it. So I don't follow other ministries. I don't listen to them. Yes, I do appreciate by the way, if you have information, send it to me. My direct email is Stan at prophecyclub.com. Ask Stan at prophecyclub.com. And when you email, it would be very nice if you could remember your Christian manners as you do. Thank you very much. All right, anyway, back to this. So Trump warns shutdown could last years. Says he may declare a national emergency in order to build the border wall. Well, brothers and sisters, there it is. Here we are. We're seeing it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. Look at it. It's the national emergency, the whole thing with the border, the Syria, the courtroom thing, what Shane has said, what Hal Turner has said, what all. You see, with this broadcast, I try to put it all together. I tried to give you an overview. It's not just one voice. It's not just one thing. It's not a newspaper article. It's not something I found on the internet. It's a lot of voices from a lot of different places. The mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. I'm saying Jesus is coming, probably in the ballpark of 10, maybe 8, maybe 10. I don't know exactly. But what I'm trying to say is not set a date. I'm trying to say we don't have long. We don't have long. Will you help me? Pray for me and send me your best gift, because we need to get this message out to more people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your gifts of support. God bless. Go visit watchprophecyclub.com, where you can watch over 160 Prophecy Club titles for an introductory monthly recurring subscription of just $20 a month, or a yearly subscription for $200. The early $200 subscription is the best deal because it locks in your rate against increases in monthly subscriptions. That's watchprophecyclub.com. If you are not familiar with the story of Dmitri Duduman, this is the offer that I suggest that you listen to and get. Dmitri Duduman was the Romanian pastor who smuggled Bibles into Romania and Russia for 30 years. He was finally arrested, put through 5 months of torture, culminating in them putting him on the electric chair, not once, but twice. As the electricity is going through him, the angel Gabriel shows up and tells him, "You're not going to die. You're going to America to give them a message from God." That was 1980. 4 years later, in 1984, the angel came to him again, and that's when he told him the fall of America would start with an internal revolution. Dmitri once told me that the very best recording of him giving his testimony was the one that he gave to Prophecy Club, and that's part of this offer. It's called Wake Up America. Also, I recommend you get Prophecies of the Fall of America, which is a book, and it's the written version of Dmitri Duduman's testimony, dreams, and visions, and angel visits. Also, his grandson, Michael Boldea, and also Prophet Leslie Johnson. All of them in one book. You need to have this book for the end time's sake. Then also, I'm teaching through America in Bible Prophecy, 193 scriptures showing you where America is found in the Bible. All 3 of them, 2 DVDs and a book, valued at $75, all available for a gift of just $30. That's at prophecyclub.com. It's called Wake Up America gift offer at prophecyclub.com. Dr. Bree Keaton just made a brand new DVD. She reveals shocking, never released private family records, bloodlines, and gives you the true story of how God used Patrick Henry to save America. She helped me to see more clearly where we are and where we're going, because most of history has already repeated itself. You will like this DVD. Is Trump our Patrick Henry? prophecyclub.com. Brian Melvin did an excellent job making this DVD called Hell in a Box and From Hell to Heaven. Excellent talk. I've heard about 30 some odd talks of people that have passed on, some to heaven, some to hell. This is one of the best ones. This held my attention all the way through. Now look, just as archaeology can be really powerful to win people to Christ, and you need that. You need this DVD in your hands to show people this will convince people. I'm saying this will convince the skeptic to get saved very powerfully. You want this DVD and this book, Hell in a Box and Hell to Heaven, and the book, A Land Unknown, Hell's Dominion. DVD gift of $30, book gift of $20, both for a gift of $45, prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. The Hell gift offer. Keep them out of it with the Hell gift offer. prophecyclub.com, 785-266-1112.